So we are strictly just community-based, right? We're here to educate, empower, enable. And that's kind of like the big thing that we really focus on. But I think the only rule that we really have in our community, or two rules that we have, is be respectful and no selling.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Matt Schalsey. He's the CEO and co-founder at the Enablement Squad. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going, Kelsey? Thank you.
Yeah, excited to have you. So Matt, why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so Matt Schalsey, Nebraska native. If you guys don't know where that's at, close your eyes, point in the middle of the US. That's where we're at. A lot of people still just can't believe people live here. I have been a seller for 10 plus years, did some marketing, really fell in love with enablement, which really brought my passion to formulate the Enablement Squad with one of my co-founders. So just entrepreneurial, really go-getter. I have often been told I need to be grounded with my thoughts, which is awesome. But yeah, definitely love just challenging the norm and just, going for this, reaching for the sky.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. So tell me more about the Enablement Squad.
Yeah, so the Enablement Squad is a Slack-based community for enablement practitioners or those that are looking to understand or get involved with enablement. Basically, it was founded by Stephanie Midda and myself about almost 4 years ago now, which was awesome. It started out basically as, I really wish we had like an AOL chat room where we could just like ping somebody, ask a question, we could get some feedback. And something like that just didn't exist. We had all of these other enablement communities where post on a forum board, you just wait for your junk mail or your email to refresh, see if somebody did it day in, day out, or you just send the random LinkedIn invites and people just, I don't want to hang out with, somebody that's just starting out or mentor somebody or teach somebody like that right now. It just seemed like more of a commitment. But if we were able to ask those quick hitting questions, people were more likely to engage. And so that's where we came up with the Slack-based community for the squad. And, Stephanie and I's vision was my vision was if I get 25 people in here, like I'm set, like this is great. It's not going to take off, but it's just a small group of people, we'll hang out. Fast forward almost 4 years later, here we are, we're about 3,000 members globally. One of the fastest growing communities that are out there, from sellers, CROs, HR, L&D, sales, customer success enablement, product enablement, everything, you name it, we have it all in there. And we are now on our second year of doing global events. So we have done our infamous hackathons where people bring questions, problems, and we literally like hammer them out just like an engineer would and really build out more of a strategy collaboratively together for individuals. That's
fascinating. So you answered one of my questions talking about, do you have to have a certain number of years of experience to join the Enablement Squad?
No. In fact, if that was the case, I probably still would not be qualified to be leading this. I think that's the pleasure of the Enablement Squad, right? Like you can be 1 day or 100 years into the craft. And I feel like kind of the motto that I have for all of the community members is just give what you give and take what you can take. But as long as you're continuously giving back to the community, you're going to continue to learn. And I think that's the great thing is we have new people that are coming in here with these new trends, TikTok style education models or, the classic old school pen and paper, like what's working out for these. And it's kind of that fun mesh of challenging between the two of them of where you can find the integration. So it's great between a nuanced member as well as a tenured member for them to really find that collaborative motion and really come up with strategies together. So no experience needed. Don't even have to be an enablement. If you just want to learn better around enablement and training and sales motions, we're a place to hang out.
That's fantastic. That's great. So, it sounds like people can post their questions, post their dilemmas, look for advice, look for feedback. What are some things that you see most often in the squad?
Yeah. So right now, we all know how the job market's just been crap. So there's been a lot of like career advice, right? Like, what do I do next? Can somebody review my resume? Hey, we have a full channel that's dedicated to job postings. And, it's fun to see how many people just like pounce right at that opportunity to get on there. So we've got that. We've got our channel. It's called Generals and Struggles. And it's literally probably the busiest channel. But it's like, hey, I have this tool, I want to do this, or I'm using this methodology. How do I go about doing something like this? And it's awesome to see like you have 17 different people that have 17 different ideas about how to support this one person. And usually it's these new relationships that are being formed throughout those different channels continuously of like, well, I liked what you were doing here, but I didn't like this. I liked what they were doing. So how do I merge all those together? And it's so fun to see the evolution of the creativity that practitioners are willing to take anywhere, across the entire community.
Yeah, yeah. And there are, hundreds of thousands of Slack channels out there. So what really differentiates the Enablement Squad from other channels on there?
Yeah, so we are strictly just community based, right? We're here to educate, empower, enable. And that's kind of like the big thing that we really focus on. But I think the only rule that we really have in our community, or two rules that we have, is be respectful and no selling. So it is a carefree community that you can come in and ask, like, I need competitive intelligence tools. Like, who's recommended here? And if somebody from a competitive intel company comes in, they're out. Like, that's not like they can come in and look and see like, use cases and stuff like that. But if they poach them, they're instantly out. It's zero tolerance, no selling. And so I think that's where, one of the best things that separates us. The other part of it is the thought leadership and just the community and excitement around all of the questions and crafts. I really just think it's more of that collaborative nature, and it's just that freestyle, that there's not a strict forum, or there's not like, how do I do this? Or, gotta search the help center for that. And I think that's what really separates us, is people can have that instant access and that instant gratification to solve their problems, especially from a one-man show to a team of 20.
Yeah, yeah. I'm curious to pick your brain a little bit. Was there anything that, just first thing that comes to mind, was there anything that you read on the channel or, from the squad that you were like, wow, I really have to remember that. That's a really interesting piece of advice, or anything like that? Anything that sticks out to you as just like one practical thing that you could pass to our listeners?
Yeah. It was somebody that was posting basically like a help article in our Journals of Struggles around executive presence. And it was interesting to read because although I'm the CEO, co-founder of the squad, right? Like, I'm sorry, but that's like a podunk title for like, compared to like some of these big Fortune 500 CEOs and stuff. It was still interesting to really learn and listen to these experts that have been doing executive presence, presentations for years. And so the big thing that I really kind of like took in as a founder and as a leader for the community is present with data and present with facts. And I think that was huge because oftentimes from a seller's perspective or even marketing, right, we want to fluff things up. We want to make things look pretty. We want to put a nice tiny bow on it, but nobody gives a shit about the bow, right? It gets ripped off and thrown in the trash as soon as you open it up. So just get straight to the point, right? Really dive in, really understand what the message is and what the outcomes that you're desiring to be done and what action items need to be accountable for afterwards. So it was a really, really great discussion. I think it was still one of our largest threads that we had. And it was phenomenal just to see everybody's participation there.
I loved that. Love that. And, one of the community that you have, it really, flourishes when there is that engagement. So how do you make sure that you encourage, people to weigh in, provide, their opinions, ask questions? How do you encourage them?
Honestly, I don't. That's seriously the beauty of this community. It's so self-autonomous that we don't have to do much. I do have a great, fantastic squad leadership team. There's about 15 different squad leaders that are out there, and it's pairs of people that are working together to do different programs. So like we have a mentorship program. So I have squad leaders that have volunteered time to really drive up the mentorship program there for mentees and mentors. We have 3 gals that are leading our leadership lounge, which is those that are leading an enablement function as well. So it's an exclusive thing there. We've got design, we've got community knowledge, we've got partnerships teams. I mean, we've got thousands of people that are still helping us out, even outside of that leadership team, to be advocates and to really continue the conversation. So there's no shortage of engagement. I probably, if I didn't clear out any of my notifications from Slack at a day, I probably have over 50 to 100 notifications within that channel.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
That's great. So if people wanted to learn more, where would they go to join, and see if they might be a fit for the Enablement Squad?
Yeah, check out enablementsquad.com. We've got our website. There's a join us button on the upper right. So you can click on that. Also, you guys can connect with me on LinkedIn, Matt Schalsey, and I'm happy to discuss any type of opportunity there as well.
That's fantastic. So, Matt, before as we head out, I'm curious to pick your brain. Is there anything that you've heard, not necessarily about the Enablement Squad or enablement in general, but more so just things that you would want to clear up, any common misconceptions about, what it may be to be in the squad, what it takes, anything like that?
I don't know. I don't really think so. Again, anybody can come in and learn, come in and really engage and participate. Just don't sell. That's the number one rule, right? Don't sell and be polite. Like I said, anybody can come in. I don't care who you are. Just participate and know where to place the questions and make sure that they're questions that can be rightfully asked and answered. But yeah, overall, like super basic. I hate to say it, but it's a basic model, which is great. It's been working out very well for us.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Well, Matt, I think this was a great conversation. I look forward to, joining the Enablement Squad, hopefully having some of your listeners on the show. I think this was a great conversation, and I really appreciate you being on Business Ninjas today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Kelsey. I appreciate it.
Yeah, great to have you.
You too.